Robert,
Yes. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm blessed, man. Long time no see. What's up?
Yeah, I know. I actually, I was just kind of, I do music, so I was just like kind of caught up with that. But I actually just closed my first deal. So I don't know what you guys are doing for the giveaways for this month for the challenge. I don't know if that's still a thing.
What do you want?
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just, I'm honestly just
Get your
like
check. What
thankful.
else do you want, man? Let's get some more
No, no,
deals.
no, no. Yeah, I'm just because I just started watching your channel again. You said something about the cloud, or what do you have, the plus?
Yeah.
So what's that whole? If you don't mind, like talking about that a little bit.
I mean, you can go watch the video on it. Just go to
Okay.
flipitterplus.com if you want to go see what it is.
Oh,
But
is
it's
it
mostly
kind
a
of like a
thing for us
membership?
to do for people that do JV deals with us. Try to
Okay.
entice people to give me more JV deals, honestly.
Yeah. Dope. But yeah. So basically,
Tell me about
this.
this deal.
So I locked it up for 90,000. I found a buyer at 118 through a realtor. So I gave him like 2,500, like 3 grand around there for commission. And then we were about to close. And then the seller's actually the POA. So he's like, oh yeah, I was talking to my, family members. We want to get like way more, like, for the property. And I was just like freaking out because I was about to make like 25 grand. And I was like trying to DM you, like hit your line or like, and I was like, what can I do? It's like, so, I was like, well, I'd rather just, not get like an attorney, but even then it's like, is it even really worth it? So, we settled at 105. So I still made like 10,500 profit.
Okay. Where was this out of?
This was in, Maryland.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
awesome, man. How did it feel to get that deal?
It was surreal, dude, because I literally just sent him my check, like my business account, and it was
Yeah.
just that same day. Like I like woke up on Saturday, I was like, oh, like like 10 bands just like on my phone. I was like, oh wow, like
It's real.
yeah, like that wire was like pretty sure it came in that same day. I was like, I thought it took like 3 business days.
Dude, it's
So
real money, man.
yeah, no, I was just like, wow, this
And you
is
help
like
the seller
literally.
out. It's a win-win-win.
Yeah.
And
So
you
I
made
mean,
the
I was
house buyer
gonna
money.
I was gonna go ask you that. That's why I'm calling too. Is like, what could I have done to? Because I tried negotiating and I was like dialing him hard, like, yo, like we have a legal document you already signed for 90. Like, what could I have done so like in the future I can not have that again?
I mean, the best thing possible to make more money on these type of deals for like next time, I would say is probably get more buyers or not more, but better buyers. Usually the more buyers you have that are good, there's going to be one that's going to overpay a little more. You can always lock it up for lower if you ever get
Because
better
the
at
thing here,
negotiating.
the buyer already put like a EMD down.
Yeah, no, don't get greedy. Like that's how you lose your deal, right?
Yeah.
But like in the future, if you have other buyers, you might have one before. Hey, before they
But
put the EMD, I'll probably pay 118 for it, not 105. Like another guy. That's how you start spreading those deals a little more. But heck, dude, I still do $5,000 deals. I just got to check for a $2,000 deal we did
yeah.
locally. It's like,
Because
I mean,
I talked to the realtor too, and he's just like, I was like, yo, like I know it doesn't really affect you, and you're the end buyer, but yeah, like, is there anything I can do? And he said I can cloud title. Have you heard of that?
yeah, I mean, you could do that. It's not good though.
Is
Why would
that
they cloud the title?
I don't even know what that term means. Like, is that essentially to like essentially stop like future
What the
sales?
realtor would do that?
I would do that apparently
Why?
to have them, because the seller called me. He's like, oh yeah, we have like an offer for 120. And then I was just like, dude, like we already signed like an agreement, like we already have EMD down.
Hate that. You
So
could, but that's big boy stuff, and that can get very hairy. I don't
mhm.
recommend for any beginners to do that at all.
Okay.
Because
The
when
other
you
thing would
start
be like
going to court
attorney, right?
and doing big boy stuff like that, you can get called to the table. What do I mean called the table? I have memorandums right now. So they're called memorandums, affidavit of equitable interest, where you do cloud the title. If I go to court, which unfortunately I have before, I like those type of situations, you can get asked if you actually had the ability to close on that deal. And I can show proof of what's in my bank account and I can buy it myself. If you can't show that, then your equitable interest does get not as good and that can get thrown off.
So
So you
you
got
would
to be
just need to
careful
show
doing that.
like the 90K like liquid funds.
It's not even liquid. I mean, you could have a hard money already for it too. But as a beginner, I wouldn't be clouding title.
Okay.
I'm not the biggest fan of it. It can get hairy.
Yeah, because even if I were to get like a lawyer involved, like it would still like just be like
We
too
closed the
much.
deal, right?
Yeah, I did.
So
But
how
I'm
did you
just
deal
saying
with
like
that seller though?
huh?
How did you deal with that seller? Were you just following up a lot? Like,
Oh yeah. I just followed him up and
what did you say though? I went out or I want more. Like what were you
yeah,
saying?
he's like, I'm at like he's like, no, he said he's like, I want more for the property. And then I was like, well, we already signed for this. He's like, well, like that's where I'm at. It's like it's like you need to come up on the price, da da da. And he was
So
like
what did you
super
say?
hard.
Like, what did you
And
say?
so I try to like, I was like, okay, like, I was like trying to do like 95, and I was just like, all right, well, like, could do 105. And then he's like 107. I was like 105. And he's like, okay. And then I was like, sent him the new contract, with the new price. And then just went from there.
I would call that a win, man. I mean,
Yeah.
the
I mean,
buyer
it's
made
it's
money.
still because I was like so stoked. Like we were about to close, and I was like, dude, I was about to get 25, and then now I just like took like a 15K L. But I
Uh,
mean, it's still like a win. It's the first one, so I can't
Yeah,
complain.
I mean, I would probably give like 5 extra, right? Because
Mhm.
I'd say, hey, who's this other buyer? Let me talk to like
No, I
they're
told him
probably
I
not
was like,
serious.
I was just like, okay, like has he seen the property? Like, how does like he's gonna? Because there's also squatters in there. I was just like,
Yeah.
there's like they're gonna have to deal with that. Like, we already started the eviction process, or we already have the addendums like ready. Like, we already have your POA stuff. Like, we're already starting the paperwork. Like, the end buyer already started. Has his attorneys and things like that. So
Yeah. Next time when I say, hey, like that person's never seen the house, they don't understand it. Of course, they're offering that. Here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna look at it and then they're gonna say, well, I was at that one, but now I'm gonna go down in price. I just told you because I saw it straight up. I'm as serious as they come.
yeah,
Unfortunately, I signed an agreement. I'm a man of my word. I'm agreeing to buy it for that price. You need to agree to sell it for that price. And in the event the squatter destroys the house, I'm still responsible for it. And you have to hold me up to that. And unfortunately, I have to hold you up to the agreement right now for the price you signed.
yeah. And I was like, dude, like I can have, everybody can be shooting you offers. Like, I was like still trying to convince him. But
Here's the
anyways,
last thing you have to say, though, Robert. You just say, if you can get the squatters out of the house, I can do 100. Will you do that for me by next week?
yeah.
No? Okay, well,
But,
we'll do this price then.
yeah.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's an unreasonable request, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll shut up real quick.
Yeah, well, I
But you
guess
still do good.
yeah.
Hey, you got
Yeah.
the deal. You learned. I think by next
Yeah.
time you'll be even better, and that's the point, man.
Yeah. And then to my next question was when closing, so the seller and buyer showed up at the title company. For next time, can it be what? Like, do they have to show up or
Separate times, dude. Where do you what title company are you using, man? Make sure they're separate times. I like the buyer to come the day before or in the morning, and then the seller to come like an hour or two after,
okay, why is that? Just so they don't
so they
see.
don't go in the same room or
Okay.
in the same lobby.
Okay. I don't know. I guess that she just I don't know if she like I don't know. I wasn't there, so
I mean,
this is
I've
I'm
never had a
still
problem with it, but there's extra risk.
yeah.
So yeah, different times always.
Okay. And then because I think there's something with there can be like a notary. Is that a thing?
Notary, yeah.
So what's that process?
I mean, it's at the title company when they do the deeds and everything. It's none of your problem. Don't worry about it.
Okay. And
No,
then
they can do a mobile notary to do a closing at someone's
yeah,
house if you have to.
yeah.
But I mean,
I just
do it at the title company. It's always
yeah.
way better.
Okay. And then last question, what would you do with 100K?
100K.
Yeah, would you buy like,
I mean, let me ask
multiple
this question,
properties?
Robert. How did you get your first deal? What was the marketing method?
No, I said like if you already have 100K, like what would you do to grow it?
So the deal you just did, what was the channel and list?
That one was actually through a buyer. So he's just like it
The
was like
buyer
okay,
gave
it
you a
was like
lead.
yeah, essentially. And I ended up just
Dang.
he's just like, oh,
All right. Well, we can't do that then.
No, I know.
If I'm talking about Maryland, is this virtual or in person?
Virtual.
Virtual. Government list, cold calling is still probably gonna be my favorite. Maybe I can play with some SMS with it, depending on the time I have. But cold calling and SMS is probably gonna be my best bet still.
Oh, okay. No, I think what am I like my question is like I have 100K and I want to invest it in properties. Would you buy like would you do
Oh, you're talking about
fix and flip?
properties? Rental
Yeah,
properties.
would you do like fix and flips? Would you like
Rentals.
rentals? So
Rentals. You get cash every single month. You're young, dude.
yeah. So how would you what type of rentals would you look for or what?
A good wholesale deal. I just buy it cash and rent it
Okay.
out.
Okay.
At these interest rates, just buy it cash for now. Especially cheap ones in Maryland. Do it.
All right. So you would just try to like get them as low as possible. Like how do you like do the calculations to see if it's like a good
I
good
mean,
thing?
figure out what the thing. I mean, in wholesaling what a property is worth, right?
Yeah.
Get it for under it. So, for example, let's say that deal you got for 105, probably it's worth 125 or 130. I would
Yeah.
buy that for 105 all day. Now I have $25,000 in equity. That's a great deal for me.
Yeah, but it's gonna be like it's gonna be a total gut job.
It's a gut job. So if I put 50 into it, it's probably worth 190, 200.
Mhm.
That's a great deal. Now I have 50K in equity. Then I
Okay.
can rent that out for $1,200 a month for the rest of my life. Next year, it's going to be 1,400, then 1,500, then 1,600, and the property goes up in value. Cash flowing like crazy. I get money every single month, and then boom, I'm set for life.
Okay. Can you go over a little bit about that property that you just bought, the 415?
The 450 will be an Airbnb. It's in a
Okay.
really good part, very touristy part. And so we're going to buy it. We're going to put 30 into it. It's kind of by the beach too. So we're going to make it beachy themed. And then we're going to Airbnb it with all of our other Airbnbs.
So do you
But
essentially
I'm in a vacation place in Florida. And
Okay.
so I go from I could rent it out for 2,400, or I could probably make 4 or 5K. And then the winter when all the snowbirds come, I could probably get closer to 300 a night. And so I
what
make
makes you
cash doing
decide
it.
that what makes you decide that you want to do an Airbnb on a property or not?
Markets. So because I'm in a touristy spot, other people are willing to pay 300 a night in the winter for that Airbnb because people travel to where I'm at for fishing. It's one of the top sailfish people. Michael Jordan literally takes his boat out 10 miles north of where I live to go sailfish. Like it's a great vacation spot. They got the beach there. People travel here. And so people are willing to pay it, rich people.
So it's mainly
Now,
just like the touristy spots. So
yeah. And so like I got a place in downtown Austin, I'd probably do the same thing.
so
Now,
if
if I
you
lived in Maryland,
yeah,
not the most touristy spot,
yeah.
I was rented out. Like and then I got properties in Port St. Lucie aren't like that. I just rent it out.
Okay.
No big deal. Just I look at the property and I look at where I can make the money off of it, right? What gives me the best return on my investment? Renting it out, Airbnb out. And heck, if the Airbnb doesn't work, I just rent it out and make plenty of money. That's how I choose.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah, I don't think I have any more questions.
Of course. Well, let me know how I can help you out. I love talking about rental properties too. They make me a ton of money. I pour most of my wholesaling deals into that. But yeah.
Because that's kind of like my goal is to just kind of save up towards that and then start buying, I guess, rental properties.
That's it, dude. And I want to be at the point where I make more money off of rentals than I do off of wholesaling. But wholesaling keeps going up, so it's a tough process. But I'm working on it, man.
Okay.
But if you start buying them now, you'll do well.
Okay. And then for SMS, how you said cold calling SMS, I was using REI Reply. So what? Just keep doing that.
I mean, if it's working for you, do it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but there are guys that get banned off REI Reply and then they get upset with me. But then there's other guys that DM me and they talk with me and they're like, dude, I'm making 40 grand a month on REI Reply. Should I stop? I'm like, no. If you're making that much of REI Reply, keep it up.
Yeah.
But and I see people saying it sucks. I don't use
it. I just feel like it's not really user friendly, and it's like you really have to spend time and like learn the software. It's not like it feels almost like a PC version as opposed to like getting a Mac where it's just
I mean, it's cheap, right?
Yeah.
So it's up to whatever you want to do, man.
Yeah.
There's pros and cons to it, obviously. I mean,
you use,
I tell everyone test it out.
You use Batch, right?
No, I use smszach.com. Launch control.
Okay, sweet.
That's it, man. So
your skip tracing, just the
Batch.
Yeah, sweet.
It,
alrighty, sweet, man. Well, appreciate you. And
congrats on the deal.
Yeah. Huh?
You get that check, post the check, get rid of the address, put in the whole thing else for real, inspire some people. But appreciate it, man. Keep it up.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
All right, proud of you, man. I remember you hopped on without doing it.
No, I know. So. It's just like now.
I remember y'all. All right, not specific.
You remember faces or like what do you remember?
I remember you coming up. Like, what do I do? Are you in California?
Yeah, I'm in California.
Okay, see, I remember that part. You're in California. Like, what do I do?
How do you remember that?
So there's some weird things I remember of people, but I know you were brand new. So the more you guys hop on here, I'm gonna remember y'all. So congrats, dude.
I think I hopped on like three times around there.
Yeah, so I remember you. So guys, come on.
I'm actually gonna be in Florida next month, so I don't know if you'd want to link up. I don't
know if I'm even gonna be in Florida next month. I might be out of the country, but we'll figure it out.
All right, cool.
I'm always all on board.
How do or should I email you? Or?
I mean, just depends, man. So I'll let you all know. All right.
All right, bro. No, hang out with me.
All right. Keep it up.
All right, later.